We've all played our fair share of Roblox games. Some good, and some downright awful. Some of them last years, and others die in a week. But why? What makes a game good? Is it the combat, the visual effects, the models and UI? Or maybe it's all of it. Good news, today we're testing it. We've got 10 games anticipated to release in 2026. We're going to rate them based off their visuals, mechanics, progression, and innovation. We're going to break down each one of these games and answer the question that's on everybody's mind. Will these games save the anime community? Let's hop in the game and find out. Ladies and gentlemen, top 10 Roblox games 2026. Hold on, wait. Before we get to the video, firstly, I just want to say, last video, you guys were absolutely pissed off because three out of the 4 games did not drop, which is understandable, but confusingly, y'all are mad at me. I just want this to be clear. I am not a dev. I do not own these games. I do not work for these games. I'm simply just a messenger. Everything I put in that video for what was supposed to come out for that month was told to me by devs and managers that work for the game. So if it didn't come out, you got to be mad at the devs, not me. I don't know what else to tell y'all. You know, suck. 2, this video is simply just a top 10 games that I'm hyped for and hoping they come out in 2026. This is not me confirming they're coming out 2026. I haven't done any research. I haven't talked to any devs, any Discord members, any staff members to find out when these games are coming out. So that being said, if these games don't drop this year or anytime soon, don't get mad at me, please. I'm begging you. I'm just a guy. Seriously, I'm just a guy. Lastly, thank you guys for 2,000 subscribers. I'm not gonna lie, this is absolutely insane. That was my first video. The video's almost hitting 100,000 views, and you guys got me to 2,100 subscribers in 2 weeks off of one video. It's absolutely insane, and I can't believe how fast this channel has grown. It's kind of nerve-wracking, but I'm gonna do my best to give y'all the best quality content possible so we can, keep growing, and y'all can keep getting peak content. But besides that, let's get to the actual video. Coming in at number 10, first up on the list, we've got Panta. Now, this game, everybody for some reason really was interested in it. It's actually gotten the most comments on my last video. And for me, for Bleach games, it's actually probably one of the ones I was most excited for. Panta, like I said in the last game, so far to me has a good step. Other than from what I'm seeing, 2026, they have a pretty bad start. They started the year pretty bad. But visually, I think this game is not the most peak visually, but I think it's definitely above average. I'd give it about a 7. Progression wise, they keep to the simple Bleach progression, which to me is kind of stale, but they're working with what they got, so I can't be mad at them really. So I give that about a 7 as well. Now when it comes to innovation, I think most Bleach games kind of have a cheat in this aspect just because their anime doesn't progress like every single anime, so they kind of naturally have a little bit of difference or contrast in how you progress through their games, which makes it a little bit more fun to play. They also have a lot of retention points within their progression, which allows you to find different pockets of ways to just accomplish and have fun while playing the game. So innovation, I gave them a 7 as well. Now mechanically, from what I've seen, because I haven't played this game, it does look mechanically sound. It does look moderately fast paced, which I prefer in a combat based game. I don't like to play slower combat games, but I think overall, mechanic wise, it does deserve a 7 as well, giving this game a total of a 28. Now some of these ratings may seem harsh, but I just got to be fair because there are some games on here that I think are really peak quality in another level that I'd be robbing them to give games like Panta a 10 across the board. But y'all let me know what y'all agree, if y'all agree with Panta's rating. At number 9 on the list, we've got one of my personal favorites, 4 Blues. Now 4 Blues is a One Piece inspired game, which I would love to play. Wink wink at the devs. If y'all want to give brother Tester, I'm right here, just putting that out there. But 4 Blues for me, visually, I think this game is actually, it looks great to me, in my opinion, no glaze. But from the character models to the actual visual effects of the moves to the maps, I think overall it looks good. The weapons look cool, the combat looks cool, it overall all just looks good. I don't really see much that I don't like about it visually. I don't think the UI is too bad. I mean, I'm kind of getting tired of the like deep woken looking UIs in terms of the like toolbars at the bottom. But you know, I guess that's more of a personal preference. But for that reason overall, I'd give their visuals an 8. Now progression, I really couldn't speak too much about it just because from all the videos I found online to watch and kind of see what the game had to offer and on the Discord, I didn't really see too much about progression and I didn't have too much information. So I don't want to really give them a full rating just because I'm not fully informed, don't have all the information. So for that reason, I'd leave that at a 5, just to be average. It could change, so who knows. Now, innovation. Overall, I feel like the game is not completely bland, but it doesn't have the most innovative ideas. So with the mix of all those, you know, having the combat system being a little faster paced, having the up tilts and different ways to combo extend, things like that, the clash system, I think innovatively, I'd probably give them a 7 just because there's room for growth, definitely. But I think they're on the right path in terms of how they want to make it work. And that could also change based off how progression works too. Now, lastly, mechanics. I think their mechanics are pretty fire. I think they're on par with a lot of other games on this list. And for that reason, I gave their mechanics an 8. I think their combat pace, how fast it is, the clash system, the up tilts, how they incorporate different movements into their actual fighting system. I think overall the mechanics look good. I did see they did even have stuff like fishing. So all this kind of mechanics to me play a big role in how they got their rating. So overall, I think World Blues looks pretty good. And I'd rate them overall a 28. At number 8 on the list, we have another favorite of mine because I've been itching and waiting for the platform to finally get a new Naruto game. And that game is Kaizen 2. Now, like I said, Naruto has always been my favorite anime. You know, call me, you know, basic, whatever you may want to call it, but Naruto's always been peak for me. And to finally have a game after Shinobi Life 2, I'm actually so excited for this game to come out. Now, let's get straight to it. Visually, being honest, Kaizen 2 is not the most visual game, but I don't think that's what they aimed for, truthfully. Visually, they're not bad, but they're just not competing with a lot of these other games, if I'm being honest. For that reason, I'd give them a 6. But the visuals still match the style of the game, so I can't even be mad at it. And I like the fact that the visuals aren't too distracting, which help to not take away from the actual main combat and gameplay. So, yeah, 6 overall. Now, for progression, I played their beta test a long time ago. I think it was like a year ago, maybe beginning of 2025. I don't really remember fully when it was, but from what I did play, it wasn't too much to offer. I don't think they showed too much progression, and for that reason, from what I saw, I'd give them a 6 just because I don't want to give them too high or too low just because I have a lack of information. Now, innovatively, I think they are doing a good job in reinventing the Naruto combat for the Roblox community, because a lot of the Naruto games coming out now do a very simplistic simulator style combat that to me pisses me off, because since when was Naruto, you know, stiff and slow combat? And I feel like they lose touch of how combat should have actually been. So for that reason, I would give their innovation a 7. Now, lastly, the mechanics. The gameplay mechanics look fire to me. I think the combat, the subbing, everything, the moves. I literally saw a video, shout out to my boy Instinct, who was doing a video, and he literally was terrorizing like a whole clan of people just because he was just way better than them. And I think having combat mechanics that are that fluid and fast paced that allow you to do things like that just because you have more skill makes a game like this even more fun to play. So for that reason, I gave their mechanics a 7.5, putting this game at a 27.5 rating. Number 7. Now, this game kind of breaks the mold a little bit from the anime style that I've kind of picked on this list, but that is for a very specific reason. We've got Eleon Adventures. Now, this game in particular really caught my eye when I first saw their trailer a while back, or their sneaks that they did, and the game looks absolutely insane. Now, just to break down this game, because I could probably talk about it for a while, but I just want to get into it. This is a turn-based game. It kind of, you know, it has a Pokemon feel, which for me kind of brings back a lot of nostalgia. Last time I played a turn-based game was literally like one of the old Pokemons on like Nintendo 3DS. So having a game like this to me really touches a whole nother like side of my brain, and I think it probably will do the same for you guys. Now visually, this game is absolutely insane, from the GUIs, the models, the maps, the freaking whatever they're called, the Eleons. They all look crazy, and it all brings back a lot of that old style Pokemon feel. It's just high quality. The animations look great. So for that reason, visually, I gave this game a 10, just because I genuinely think this game's visuals are peak level. Now moving on to the progression, they follow the simple storyline of most turn-based games like Pokemon, and you just go through the story progression, the single player, and you can level up, do battles, fight bosses, do competitions, whatever the case may be. And I think with what they have to work with and the path they took, that still leaves a great amount of just progress and potential in this game. So I gave them a 9 for the progression. Now innovation, a game like this is very, very hard to innovate off of, just because the whole point of the game is pretty much set out for you. And for them to still find a way to make it still innovative as they could within that realm, in terms of how they made their maps and designed their characters and just everything overall, I thought they did a great job and absolutely killed it. So for innovation, I gave them a 9 as well. Now lastly, mechanics. A game like this has very simple mechanics, nothing really crazy or breaks the mold from other turn-based games, but in how they executed them, I think they absolutely killed it and did a great job in implementing them. So for that reason, I give them a 9 in mechanics as well. Overall, that leaves this game at a 37 rating. Okay. Now this one at number 6 is another favorite of mine on this list. Probably my top 2, maybe 3. I don't even know. This game is just fire. Now this is a Demon Slayer inspired game that has been in dev for quite a while. I'm actually literally watching a devlog on it currently, but this game is Hino. Now like I said, Hino is a Demon Slayer inspired game, and just to jump into it, visually I think the game looks great. I like how the player models keep to the style of the game. The maps are large, they look good. The visual effects for the moves look good. The combat overall looks good as well. And then the models and fights look good. So for that reason, I placed them at an 8. Now progression wise, to follow just how the Demon Slayer progression goes, you know how it typically goes from Demon Slayers having to, train, get a breather, do the final selection, all that stuff in between, you know how it goes. I think overall the progression isn't mid, but it's not anything crazy. They kind of follow the same quest line of doing quest and going back and spamming quest and spamming training. So for that reason, I think their progression system is a little bit lacking, so I gave them a 6. Innovation now, overall, from how the combat looks, from how the maps are made, from how the fighting is done, and just the boss fighting, I think overall their innovation is not bad, and for that reason I put them at a 7. Now mechanically, I'm a heavy mechanics guy. I love a game that has great combat, that has great movement, and overall I can't be mad at their mechanics. The fighting looks great. It's not choppy from the looks of it. It just overall looks like a fun game to play, and I would just love to hop in and try it out, just because this game, truthfully, I love Demon Slayer already, but just seeing how they executed and really implemented all this concept of it into this game, it looks like a really fun game to play. So with all that being into account, the mechanics got rated at an 8, leaving the game at an overall rating of a 29. Coming in number 5, we've got Sorcery. Sorcery is a JJK inspired game. Overall, this game is pretty dope. This game came out in testing sometime, I think, mid 2025, and it did really well. I think the community loved it and received it pretty well. And come to find out, at the time, I think it was a solo developer, or it was just a very, very small team. And the game did really well for its first test, and then they disappeared off the map. But Sorcery is trying to make a comeback, and I think currently they do have their old play models out to be played and just have fun in. But I know they're planning on coming out with a real one. But to get into the ratings, let's look at visually. Sorcery is not the best looking game, but it's not the worst. The visuals don't stray off too much from the typical ones you see now and the standard of quality that we look for in visuals for games now. For that reason, I'd be putting Sorcery at a 7.5. In terms of progression, I gotta be completely honest, it's probably the closest thing to bandit beating we can get without it being bandit beating. You literally spawn in the same quest and do it over and over. Now, it could be changed in their newer one. They haven't really given any new information about the new one, so hopefully it does get better. But for that reason, I'd put them at a 4. Innovation. Now, based off of how their game works, it doesn't stray too far off of how other JJK games work, but I think they still did better than the average JJK games. Just play style and progression, how you play through the game. So I'll give them a 7. Lastly, their mechanics. I think the mechanics are what make Sorcery stand out from most games on the platform today. From their movement system to their combat, I think overall it just absolutely dominates the rest of the community. They have some of the most fluid movement and just parkour. It all looks great and it all feels great, and we've all played it, so I think you guys can agree with me when I say that. So for that reason, I gave their mechanics a 9, leaving the game at a 27.5. At number 4, if you guys watched my last video, which hopefully you did, if you didn't, go back and watch it, we've got a game that I did mention in there that's a My Hero inspired game. This game's called Itami. Now, this game, if you've seen my last video, I definitely expressed that I am excited to play the game, and it was supposed to come out in testing last month, which it didn't. But getting into the breakdown of the game, visually, the game looks pretty decent. I can't be mad at how it looks. It has nice map building. Visually, its maps are probably some of the best maps I've seen in terms of detail and design, as well as sticking to the art style of the actual anime. For that reason, I'd place them at a 7.5. Now, progression. Their progression, honestly, is very disappointing. From what they showed us, the progression is the typical mission board system where you just grab a mission, go do it, come back and do it again until I guess you reach whatever rank or grade you're supposed to hit. So for that lack of intuitiveness in that, I rated them a 3 in progression. Now, innovation, they do have some other stuff to offer. They, for some reason, give you the opportunity to work as an Uber Eats driver, which is kind of funny, but I don't know if it's necessary. But I guess it adds some innovation. They also do add more mechanics in terms of combat and being able to have smart NPCs that fight you in different ways and force you to play outside of the box. So for that reason, I give the innovation a 6. Now, mechanically, the game looks pretty good mechanically. It follows very closely to a battleground style of combat and mechanics. Their movements, the movement system looks pretty good. The combat looks pretty good. The boss fights and NPCs look pretty good as well. I haven't seen any PvP that stood out to me crazy, but overall their mechanics do stand above average mechanics in games that you see on the platform today. So for that reason, I'd give them a 7. This leaves them overall at a 23.5. In at number 3 is a game that originally I was really excited for, but as time goes on, I am losing a little bit of my excitement. This game is Project Slayers 2. Now, if y'all have seen how the game looks, it looks good overall. It doesn't look like a bad game. My only problem with it is just the fact that it seems like it's literally just a Project Slayers 1 version 2, which I don't know. I feel like they didn't try too much to change things up, and overall you can see that it's almost the same game. But to hop into breakdown, visually, we know Uwap has great visuals. His modeling, his character design, his visual effects, his map building, they're overall always pretty decent. I give them an 8. Their progression seems to be the same, doing the same mission over and over and over. Typical bandit beater. I give them a 5. Now, innovatively, like I said, they didn't seem to try to do anything different or, to make themselves stand out other than from the brand that they've already built from their first game. So for that reason, I gave them a 6 for innovation. Lastly, their mechanics. Nothing bad, but nothing really extraordinary. I don't think this mechanically really does anything different than they've done before, and for that reason I put them at a 5 mechanically, leaving this game at a 24 rating. At number 2, we have another game that is a little bit more unique than the other games on the list. This game's called Pocket Anime. Now, Pocket Anime follows the same style that Eleon Adventures did of a turn-based story mode game where you essentially capture items or capture mobs and use them to fight for you in turn-based combat. The only difference with this one is they found a way to incorporate anime in this style of gameplay, which I think gives a very unique twist and makes the game more fun. Now, to jump into the game, visually, it looks great. The models of all the mobs they use, the characters look great. The UIs look great. The character design as well looks nice as well. I gave them a 9. Now, progression-wise, following the same system, they don't have too much to work with because they are a turn-based game, but they still made a very captivating story mode from what it looks like. They currently actually did a paid test, and from watching videos from those, I got to see what the game had to offer in progression, which still looked promising, so I'd give them a 9. Now, innovation, I'd give them a 10 off the bat, just because taking a turn-based game like this and implementing it into, or finding a way to integrate it into an anime-styled game makes it a lot more fun. And it gives the best of both worlds, where the anime community and the Pokemon and turn-based game community can really have fun playing a creature capture game. So I think that overall was a great decision from their part. Now, lastly, their mechanics. I think they executed all the styles of the game very well, from being able to, you know, walk around the world with your actual pocket anime. I think it's called Animon, but being able to walk around with your Animon in game, I think was a brilliant idea. It looks really good. The combat, the animations for them, they look good, and I just overall like how the game mechanically worked. Some of their systems could be changed in terms of their drop rates for bosses and things like that. I did hear complaints like that in the testing, but beside that, I think they overall executed this game as best as anyone really could. So for that reason, I gave them a 9, leaving this game at a 37. The final game on this list, coming in at number 1, which I wouldn't say is my favorite on the list, but it's definitely competing for that title. We've got Nethros. Now, Nethros is just an open world RPG style game, which, if y'all remember this game, we've played it before when they did their testing, and I think everybody agrees with me when I say that was probably the most fun I had in 2025 playing a Roblox game, and that isn't even an over exaggeration. Now, visually, this game is not the craziest visually, but it still looks good and keeps to the style that they were looking for, which I think overall suited the game and the style of game very well. I give them an 8 visually. Progression wise, their progression wasn't anything crazy. It was kind of standard as usual, but them mixing that with bounties and other things like that, I think overall made it a little better, which put them at a 7.5 progression. Now, innovatively, they didn't really do anything to break the mold or anything that's new to us that we haven't seen before, which is kind of hard to do in today's day and age, where these devs have really shown us a lot of different things that, you know, the platform's capable of. So for that reason, I put them at a 7. Lastly, mechanically. Now, this game, from gliders to wall running to their parkour system to their movement to their combat, the battles, the AIs of how the NPCs work, I think overall the mechanics of this game are pretty sound and just a well-oiled machine. So for that reason, I put this game's mechanics at an 8.5, leaving this game at a 30 rating. So that was the list of games. Like I said, they're not listed in any specific order, not from best to worst or anything, just 10 games that I chose from a list of games that I made to decide which games I wanted to talk about in this video. If there are some games that you guys think could be talked about or are hyped up for 2026, you guys let me know down below, or join the Discord that I finally created for the community so you guys can go ahead and interact with everybody and myself. So let me know down below if there's any games that you think were missed out or it should be mentioned in another video, and I'll do another one if you guys agree. Now, I know some of y'all were thinking I was gonna put Relseas or Holy War X in this video, which I could have, but honestly I decided it didn't make sense to, just because everybody knows that we're waiting for those 2 games to drop, and if they ever will drop, who knows, I might have kids by the time they drop, who really knows. But if you guys would like, I can make another video on those games, breaking them down even more than I broke these games down, and give a full dedicated video just to those 2 games, and really look at what those games are offering to the platform that make them unique and prove why they're so hyped. And if they ever come out, sadly, probably not. Beside that, that's all for this video. I appreciate y'all so much again for 2,000 subscribers. I'm planning so much for this channel and for this community, and I really appreciate y'all for being a part of it. So if you guys aren't in the Discord already, make sure you join so you can be a part of a lot of the events that we're going to be doing and live streams and things like that. Once again, y'all, thank you for watching this video. Until next time, peace.